Can you deny that? And then you respond with, "Nah, love, I go chop." I'm like, wow. After all I did for you. So there are dissenting opinions and views, obviously, on the administration of the administrator. But my question, obviously, is, when we speak all the English, your assessment of 3 months of the emergency rule. But maybe I'm biased. I've been accused of being a member of the APC. On the same show, some people said I'm a member of the PDP. So my credibility is questionable. I decided to invite an unbiased, objective journalist, one that has no flaw. 3 times in his village, he was offered a chieftaincy title because of his honesty, but he rejected it. This man cannot lie. He is Onyekachi Nwosu. Hello, Onyekachi. Why are you laughing? Is everything okay? Welcome to the show, Onyekachi Nwosu.
Good evening, Sam.
Good evening. Good evening. It's always an honor to be in your presence. Thank you. Thank you for making the time. How are you doing, sir? This is hard for. It's a serious show. Why are we starting with laughing? Don't mind me. Okay. So, yesterday, like we say in Nigeria, we marked 3 months of the emergency rule. And that tells you that the remaining 3 months is not very far.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 6 months, 1 year, time elapses like that. So let me ask, how would you describe, not necessarily the administration of the administrator, because we'll get there, but the emergency rule so far? How has that affected River State? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it both? Is it in between?
Well, it depends on the side of the divide that you belong to.
Okay.
Politically speaking, I would say that we've not had so much politically. It's been calm, it's been quiet, it's been peaceful politically. Judging from where we were before the emergency rule, it's been calm. No, I will do this, I will block you. Protests has been minimal or reduced in the last 1 month. But if you look at the economy of the state, it's been stagnant.
Yeah.
Nothing is really happening. Yes, people have said salaries are being paid. Yes, that's okay. But then, for instance, the National Assembly members, all of the members of that committee, none of them is from Rivers State. Both are the House of Reps and the Senate.
Yeah.
There's no Rivers person there. So, there are exchanges, there are situations that happen that warrant that resources will flow down to these legislators or lawmakers, and it trickles down to the people at the grassroots. All of those things have been denied Rivers people and Rivers economy.
Okay.
The state administrator now flies to Abuja to talk about issues that concern Rivers State. That again is taking resources out of the state.
Yeah, an anomaly.
People are going with him like he's before the senators to speak. There are people who went with him with Rivers resources. All of those things. So it's been stagnant economically. Nothing is happening in this state. But politically speaking, it's been calm.
Okay.
Even the politicians themselves are complaining. Even some of them will not come out to say it, but they also complain that look, nothing is moving. It's been stagnant on their own part too.
Okay. So Onyekachi has responded politically and economically. Now let's look at the administrator. How would you rate or assess his administration?
Well, first of all, he came with a mandate to restore peace. And when he came, few months into his administration, he moved around the local government to, speak with the communities. The CP represented him in all of those meetings. So to engage with members of this community. But our been issue, the complaint or the argument from people, stakeholders, have been that there was no reason for us to have an emergency rule because
in the first place.
Yeah, there was no insecurity, there was no threat to life, as it were. So asking him to restore peace becomes like, what peace were they talking about, at the time? So these were the questions that the emergency rule threw up. That up till now people are still asking.
Okay.
So, but I think he's done the best that he could so far. Don't forget also that he's taking directive from Abuja. He's not alone.
Yeah.
So he goes to Abuja, he waits for directive, he waits for the president to tell him what to do. So, but so far he's done his best. That's the way I'll put it, Sam. He's done his best under the condition that he has worked so far.
Yeah. Okay. Now we have a situation where there is the general belief, and it's beyond belief, it's actually a fact, that the president has access to better intelligence than you and I, right? So he sees and knows some things that we don't, thanks to what he has at his disposal. If an emergency rule is declared in an area, it usually is because of the breakdown of law and order. And those who have attempted to analyze this also said the possibility of a breakdown could be a reason. Now, let's look at what we had in River State. It was a political crisis. That's exactly what it was. People say, no, there was no breakdown of law and order. Is it possible that without what we will call the intervention of the president declaring this emergency rule, that political crisis could have led to, right? This is one of the only few ways that I can make sense of where Tinubu got to. At the height of that political crisis, worst case scenario, could it have led to the total breakdown of law and order in River State?
Well, at that time, I would say no. Looking at what happened before the emergency rule was declared, I would say no.
Okay.
But don't forget that recently the governor himself came out to say that the president was right in his decision to declare an emergency rule in the state. The governor, who also has information at his disposal, came out publicly to say this. So based on that, I'll probably agree with you by saying, yes, the president has a lot to himself, a lot of information, so likewise the governor, So for them to have taken that issue, maybe, and there are talks also that, look, it was on the verge of impeachment. Yes.
He was clearly stated.
Yeah, on the verge of it.
The justice minister had said it's every opportunity he got.
Yes.
That.
For some people here, we just felt that, look, you need the judiciary to get him out.
Obviously.
And it does look like, at that time, it looked like the judiciary was on the side of the executive. But from the feelers we are getting lately, I don't know how to, constitutionally, I don't know whether anybody can prove that, but then it looks like they were close to taking the governor out. And so the governor making that statement also alluded to that somehow. That, look, he was on the verge of going out. Maybe, in fact, he said maybe by now they would have been referring to him as a former governor.
Yeah, but the removal of Fubara from office does not equate breakdown of law and order.
Yes, it doesn't equate to, yes, I agree.
Yeah. So if he says that, that means that those who said that was a political statement, meaning first he was playing to the gallery, trying to gain the favor of the president, and he was speaking to his personal ambition, may have been right.
I agree with you, Sam. Like many people in Rivers State have said, even outside Rivers State, there are politics attached to what is happening. When people say, look at people have been killed in Benue, nothing is happening there. That may be a different scenario. But here, you can't really hold the fact that politics is attached to what is happening here. Like, people have called it political capture, state capture, whatever it is. But you can't take away the fact that there's politics here. It's geared towards 2027 election. And Rivers State is a major player for the survival of either the person sitting at the helm of affairs or those who are trying to take over power from him.
All right, after the break, we'll reel out first the mandate of the administrator, what the president told him to do, as officially stated, and the achievements, some of the plans, projects, and policies he has put in place in these 3 months, and then you get to be a part of the conversation. Stay with us. It's still hard facts, 92.3 Nigeria info, River State, 3 months of an emergency rule. That is the conversation we're having. My guest is Onyekachi Nwosu. He is a correspondent and journalist with the Wazobia Info Port Harcourt newsroom. And we are analyzing, assessing the administration of the administrator and the emergency rule for 90 whole days. Now, the mandate given to the administrator was 1. Restoration of peace and order. That's ensuring the stabilization of river states by addressing the systemic breakdowns and facilitating dialogue among stakeholders. Governance oversight. That's administering the state's affairs in the absence of the executive and legislative. Infrastructure and legislative restoration. Administrative appointments. Budget implementation. And there were explicit instructions. He had legislative limitations. IBAS is not authorized to enact new laws. He may, however, formulate necessary regulations to facilitate governance. Administrative authority, he's responsible for overseeing the state's daily operations and financial oversight. There is also judicial independence. State of emergency does not affect the judiciary, which continues to function per its constitution. And of course, we've had courts doing exactly what they were supposed to. So, this is the mandate given to the administrator. And I asked you the question earlier about his administration before I reeled out this mandate. With this now, do you still maintain the same answer? Restoring peace, governance oversight, infrastructure and legislative restoration, administrative appointments, and budget implementation.
You know, the point here is this. As we speak, like I mentioned earlier, the budget for River State has no budget. So some of these things will be achieved with budget.
Yeah.
So the state as we speak has no budget. So one can say out of 6 months, he has stayed for 3 months. And so far, he's done the best. With the resources that he has, he's been able to do what he met, to work with what he met on ground. You know, so of course, you know, there are limits to what he can achieve.
Naturally.
Because of limitation of fund, because of he doesn't have a full cabinet that he's working with. It's not like a normal government. It's an emergency rule, so he doesn't have the commissioners around him. Yes, there are permanent secretaries and the directors in the ministry who also have their limitation because they are civil servants. But the politicians who are the field workers for him are not there, apart from the SSG. You know, who works directly with him. So that also a limitation that we must consider. And also, we're talking about 3 months here. He has 3 more months to go if he works out the way, you know, the president announced it.
Okay. So it's time for you to be a part of the conversation. What is your assessment of the 3 months of the emergency rule? What is your assessment of the 3 months of the emergency rule? 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06-416. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. You can watch, listen, and engage. Please turn off your radio as you call. It's very important. Good evening, Sam. I don't think the sole administrator has achieved much. Why is he not paying newly employed workers in a hospital management board working since February? Why withholding their biometric? How do they survive and pay transportation to work? This is too bad. And that's from Mr. Amadi. The next comment reads, Supreme Court said there was no government in River State before the state of emergency was declared. So what are we talking about? Supreme Court also said that. Okay. Now let's go to the phone lines. Jude from Omuma. Hello, Jude. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
The appointment of the sole administrator with the mandate given to him by President Tinubu. We're now looking at how far he has gone. For me, since we have said, and many of us know, some of us know pretty well, that appointment is illegal. He is mainly doing the bidding of his appointer, the president. The president has told you what to do. He has mainly rolled out the mandate as he read, mainly giving us those mandates. But he knows why he appointed a sole administrator in Rivers State, just to conquer Rivers State, to conquer Rivers State. He has done that, so whatever he is doing, we cannot even challenge it. Because if you do, when you ask, they will tell you go to court. What kind of justice have we ever gotten from the courts that is under the president? In the military, some of us were detained and taken to court and we got justice during the military regime. Can anybody get it now? So for me, the president people describe as a Democrat has never been and is not. Well, the sole administrator is doing his bidding, but let's see how far he can go. When the people are pushed too hard, they will react. And that reaction will never, and has never been friendly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jude. Chima from GRA. Hello, Chima. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Sam.
Good evening.
Mr. Sam, I think if impeaching the governor was so easy, according to your guest there, the FCC minister wouldn't have supported the current state of emergency we all are witnessing in Rivers State.
Chima, please turn off your radio.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So if you look at at the event of that declaration of state of emergency, there was a statement issued by the Assembly, Martin Samehule, which then commended the president. You understand? So they knew very well that to impeach a governor will not start and end in the flaws of Martin Samehule. You understand? Assembly. So it will not end there. So there is more to it. They have to set up panel to be able to investigate. It is only through the panel when they come up with their resolution, then impeachment can commence. So they know it was not just that easy. Then on the performance of the sole administrator, Mr. Sam, have you gone to the major streets in Port Harcourt? Because as I'm talking to you, everywhere has overtaken with waste right now. I made a video and I posted that video. Nothing is happening in Rivers State. Some of the street lights are no longer working. There's total darkness in some major roads in Port Harcourt, particularly in the night when you're driving around. So I'm not seeing any performance. It's just for the man to sit there and for them to conduct. You can see how everything they have already appointed those to head research and all of them. You understand? So they can conduct local government election, which is of course where the main target is for a weekend to be able to capture local government so that everything will go smoothly for him. Well, we pray and I hope that Rivers people can be able to realize themselves.
Okay,
Never
Chima.
to allow a certain fraudulent structure.
Thank you,
to
Chima.
produce any government.
Thank you very much. Remember, it's your assessment of the 3 months. Local man from HA, good evening.
Yeah, Samora Kuchinudu.
Good evening.
Local man from HA.
Go ahead.
Yes, you asked for question to assess the administrator. In as much as I don't support his stay in the River State, in as much as his appointment is illegal, I'm telling you authoritatively now that nothing is working in River State. Everything in River State stands still. You can see that his aim of coming to River State maybe it's about achieving it. Because once the local government election is being conducted, then FCT minister captures all the 23 LGS. That is exactly his mission here in the state. But I want to let them know that Rivers people are wiser. Whether you conduct election, capture all the 23 local governments, it will not stand the test of time, because we have prominent people that can challenge you when the time comes. Okay. You see, the power the president is using, I don't know where he derives such power. He said he's a Democrat. I am not seeing the atom of a democratic Democrat in him. That you are a governor of Lagos State, Obasanjo try every humanly possible to make sure he take Lagos State from you. But you stood your ground. And today, you are supporting illegality in Rivers State because you are at the helm of affair. Well, tomorrow will tell. Because I know too well that the power you have today, no king lasts forever.
Okay.
No king you came to a state that is peaceful. Governor that is loved by everybody. Governor is doing projects. Okay, look at the Chimenemo statement. The global this, that. Meanwhile, the thing was there when governor was there.
All right, thank you.
Projects all over the state.
Thank you, Logaman. We'll have to give you, moving forward, and by you I mean the caller, a shorter time. Emeka from Elele. Go ahead, Emeka.
Yes.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yes. What do you think that we can assess now?
3 months.
We won't get there. Rampant and the repeat of kidnapping in River State. See what happened in the YK students. They kidnapped them. Up till now, the Solar Administration did not do anything. If not a private security led by Asari Dokobo that rescued those people. Look at the street of Port Harcourt, very dirty. Look at the street, very dirty. I don't know you are driving around, very dirty. The street light is not working. There is hunger in the state. Business is not moving. The business people are crying. Go to my one. They are complaining. I was there yesterday. So there is only anything we can assess. Because the man came here just to cash out. That's me. He's not the democratic elected governor.
To cash out.
What do you expect from him?
Are you kidding me, Emeka?
The guy don't have anything to offer for now.
Emeka, what do you mean by cash out? You're out of time, though, but I'd like you to explain that. What do you mean by cash out?
Okay. Can I explain to you?
That's what I asked. Go ahead.
What I mean by cash out is they are just there using our money from go to Abuja, spending our money in Abuja, then coming here to tell us story.
All right. So he's interested in our money. That's according to that caller. Ken from Obimini. Hello, Ken.
Good evening, SOC, once more.
Good evening. Sorry, I'll have to just give you a minute.
Yes, I can. Calling from Ubuntu.
Go ahead.
SOC, I want to let you know that since the inception of the sole administrator, the LLA, Amindioga, Ebeda, Ubumini, Omok Road is yet to be completed. I want to let you know that Ubumini, under Emoho local government, is yet to be attended to for development. My state school, Ubumini, is for two decades in Borimont. I am telling you that EBAC has never come to Emoho local government, let alone Ubumini community, to see the link road passing through Ubumini and Aura, Imo State. I don't know if you're understanding my analysis and assessment here.
I'm trying to.
Ubumini is yet to have electricity. Ubumini is yet to have internal roads and social amenities. What else should I tell you? As an Ubumini indigene, when we had given him the budget of 2025 to take care of the state, and my people are yet to see the development.
Okay, Ken.
EBAC.
Thank you very much,
It's
Ken.
unfortunate. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Yes,
but
I can.
you need
Sorry
to
for moving.
remember, and I'm glad that you said the budget. We don't have a budget yet. The 1.4 trillion is called a proposed budget. Has not been passed, so cannot be implemented. So some of those projects you're asking for at this time, he might not be able to execute. You want to say something, Onyekachi?
Yeah, I think it's important that we also remind our listeners that this is a state of emergency. It's an abnormal situation. They must put that in their mind while they also, ventilate their anger. It's important that they know it's an abnormal situation. It can't be like a normal sinful Barra's administration where commissioners can be detailed to go and check out this, monitor this, ensure this is not happening. I agree totally with the fact that Port Harcourt ought not to be as dirty as it is. It is very, very dirty. I agree totally. And the administrator should have been up and doing on this. I don't know why. Honestly, I think he has failed on this so far. So maybe he needs to rejig and look at way to solve it in the next 3 months.
All right. Gift from Yenogwa. Hello, Gift. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead.
There are some times I will sit back and be asking myself some funny questions.
Okay.
But today I will not ask myself.
All right.
The Bible says my people die because of what? Lack of knowledge. Thank God you just informed the public concerning the 2025 proposed budget. In fact, as I speak with you, I don't know if you are aware that the sole administrator is before the Senate today, for this same purpose. He went there to defend that very proposed budget. They've not passed it. We should even thank God that salaries are being paid without even budget. Ordinarily, we were supposed to even wait until after that budget is out before you start paying salaries. So on that aspect alone, it is 130% for this man. If you want to assess him for 3 months, ordinarily you are not supposed to release public. Anything you want to do in governance is a must that you must pass through what is called budget. But up to this moment, there is no budget and you are receiving salary. Your uncle, your aunt, your father, your mother, you are not happy with that. You are still complaining. As far as I'm concerned, if we like to cry from now till tomorrow, emergency is emergency. Even if you go to hospital,
all right,
with any victim that had an accident,
thank you very much.
Emergency. It is not normal situation. So
I have to move on now.
Calm down and allow this man.
Thank you very much. Susie from Alakaya. Hello, Susie. Yes, good evening. It's a bit noisy where you are. Can you handle that, please?
I want to actually say that the sole administrator have done noble. From the inception of the sole administrator was the exit of all the troublemakers and some of the intended problems that was supposed to happen in River State. Just like Chizel Masla said, what should anybody expect that he should work with? He came in, nobody gave him any money, and then the budget is being submitted. I agree with Chizel Masla. So some of the projects that he's undergoing today, if actually the budget is passed, I think he can dispense money. And for those who are saying he does not have right for the president or the president of the sole administrator is taking up, I want to tell you that Section 305, which has said that the president can take extraordinary measures and extraordinary actions. Nobody has been able to define the meaning of that extraordinary action as supposed to be taken by the president. So the sole administrator have done well. And on the issue of election in River State, what is wrong if the essence of the election is to capture all the local governments in River State by next week? What is wrong about that?
Susie. Hello, Susie. Susie. Hello. The question is about assessment of the administrator. Let's leave the elections for now. Thank you very much for calling. I'll take one more call from Cookie Gam and wrap up the conversation. Hello, Cookie Gam. Good evening.
I want to what's question.
All right, go ahead. Oh my. I apologize, Cookie Gam. There seems to be a problem with the network. I'll ask my guests the final questions and then take messages on different platforms as we wrap up. So here are a few things that have happened within the past 3 months. On the 7th of April 2025, IBAS approved caretaker administrators for all 23 local government areas, and that seems to be the biggest one, really, of all the things that he has done. On the same day, he installed new leadership for civil service and local government commissions, approved members of River State Civil Service Commission. Financial oversight, he has ordered all local government administration heads to compile comprehensive 2-year activity and financial reports. On March 26, the reports detailing staff revenue projects were due to government. Shortly after emergency was declared, federal government confirmed that River State revenue allocations from the Federation account would be released to the sole administrator. Now, Ibas oversaw a new 1.48 trillion naira rivers budget proposal for 2025, which is currently being defended at the Senate. What else happened? Well, infrastructure and public works. He visited, toured several projects, the multi-billion naira Trans-Calabari Road project, the State Secretariat complex. I remember him saying he was going to, and then the civil servants were like, "We don't understand. Is it these 2 days that you are here that you use?" And yeah, so he toured some of those urban roads and facilities, monitored key projects.
Songhai farm visits twice.
Yes, the Songhai farm, that as well. And the battle of investors. Fubara's investors versus Ibas's investors. You had that as well. Healthcare and education facilities. During the project tour, he committed to refurbishing idle public services. Now, a lot of the next things I would say are basically meetings and promises, no implementation. Ibas organized town hall meetings, security meetings in certain local government areas. During a meeting with Senate Committee on Oil Theft, he advocated stronger legal action. Was he the one that organized the civil service workshop?
Yes, he did.
Yes, that was in mid-May. A 4-day transformational leadership workshop. Local government planning. At the workshop close, he directed each local government area. Socio-political. So all of the other things are meetings, advocacy, plans, and all of that. But the actual thing he did, I think that local government one is the visiting and touring. You want to say something, Onyekachi?
Yes, just while you're reading, I mean, it just dawned on me now. It looks like at a point, he looks like a man who missed it, who simply forgot that I have 6 months. It's like he will do something and then someone will call him to that. You have 6 months.
Just 6 months.
Okay, because I asked myself, what are you going to do in Songhai Farm in 6 months? If you've been to Songhai Farm, you know it's a project that you can't spend less than 2 years. It cannot be less than 2 years. Because I went there myself, I wrote a piece about it, and it was bushy. At the time I went there, the suspended governor had been there, so it's not something you can do. What are you going there? The secretariat you want to refurbish, how long will that take? So there are some things you ordinarily don't expect you to talk about, because you have this limited time. So you should have taken care of this refuse.
You also have limited. Now I get where you're going.
No, the refuse is something you can. I mean,
the refuse they pay. People like say the thing block it.
Yes,
I think
the refuse, the street light, the potholes, and all of those things. Those are the things you ought to be taking care of, not Songhai Farm.
Okay, so you're a Christian, Onyekachi, because I know the church you attend. The relationship between John the Baptist and Jesus Christ, in one line, how would you define it?
You did not tell me that I was coming.
Okay. So
I know that John came before Jesus. It was Jesus' forerunner.
Exactly.
And, so
the forerunner of Christ. And then when we used to do Bible 1 or 2, I used to jokingly say John was Jesus' hype man. That before Jesus comes, he said there's another that will come.
Yeah, he was really.
This thing, if you think about the hype man, say all these things when they do. If the main man come, put your hands up. So using that analogy, right? I would also look at Goodluck and Buhari. Goodluck literally kick-started the project of the Second Niger Bridge. Literally.
Yeah.
But Buhari was the one who completed and commissioned. What if Ibas is the forerunner of Fubara? Go to Songhai Farm, start the groundwork, tell them, hey yo, mic check 1 2. The man that is coming after me, if he handle this farm, if he catch this Songhai farm,
it's not the same scenario.
No,
it's not the same. If you listen to the commissioner, the suspended commissioner for information, he did say the governor had done this. They've met with investors from the US or from Israel or something.
US and Israel.
Yes, and they are already discussing on how to invest. So we can't now say Ibas is a forerunner.
Okay.
Because football had gone there, they've kickstarted the process to start up the investment.
Don't underestimate Ibas. But thank you for making the time.
Thank you so much.
Do you think this would just be one line that we will run out the remaining 3 months because it's conditional? If the situation changes, emergency rule can be called off tomorrow. But with what you see on ground, do you think we will complete the remaining 3 months?
We may not.
We may not. That's good. That's good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.